All right. It's Christy's phone. She's not
I see.
saying. No, I don't believe it. All right. Did we? I know most of y'all are probably bored, but there will be a point today, and it made sense. First period got it. The lights came out, and so it worked. So I know it's going to work today. Did I have trig yet?
What?
Did I take trig yet?
Yes.
I did. Okay. Did I go to UTA yet? Okay. Had I quit trig yet?
Yes.
Okay, because I didn't understand it. What did me quitting trig have to do with my life?
It changed your career.
Wow, I'm gonna be an architect. Can't be an architect without trig, whatever that math is. And I'm sure it's calculus. I don't know. Calculus has a lot of words and letters and stuff, doesn't it? Yeah, well, that was trig. But I bet if I was in Miss Manny's class or Miss O'Rear's class, that I would not have heard won't. I bet I would have gotten more out of it. The teacher I had wasn't. Anyway. So now I'm going to be a sportscaster. Did I tell you that yesterday?
Yes. And then the lady told you couldn't get a job.
The guy said you can't have a job. You'll never get a job with that accent. So now I don't know what to do. I'm failing every class except for history and broadcast diction and biology lab. Did I tell you about biology? I went to UTA, 25,000 people back then. I don't need to be around that many people. That was really awkward. I didn't like it. But biology class had 500 people in it. And it was this big theater looking room. And there's a guy from New Jersey up there talking, and I can't understand what he's saying. And he's talking nonstop for an hour and 20 minutes, and he keeps flipping over pages on an overhead, like 9 pages. And I'm just copying those words down. I'm just copying words and hearing this accent. I'm not hearing words. I'm just, except for non-cyclic photophosphorylation. I stopped. When I saw that word, I just stopped. I said, I'm not learning any of this stuff. That word, I've never seen a word like that. I'm gonna remember that the rest of my life. So October of 1985, and I remember non-cyclic photophosphorylation. I failed biology. I passed biology lab because the girl that taught that was a graduate student. She had like strawberry blonde, thick curly hair, and had these huge green eyes and just beautiful. And I listened to everything she said. It was just laser focused on everything we did in there. That history and broadcast diction is the only class I passed. Failed everything else. I'm walking back. I don't know what to do. Life's over. I have to have a job, and I don't want to work. You understand what I'm saying? I want to have a job, a career, but I don't want to work. I want to do something I love. So I'm sitting there in my dorm room, and I thought, my senior year of high school was kind of fun. Maybe I could teach and coach. And then I falsely thought, if I'm going to coach something, I got to play something. That's not true. I really think I could teach biology if I had the time to learn some biology. You never really learn something until you teach it. That's really you learn it the best when you teach it. But UT was not trying to get me to come play there because they want to win. So I thought I need to go to some little school. I didn't tell you anything about my mom and dad in college, did I? They wanted me to go to this little school.
Yeah, they wanted you to go.
So I can't go there because they don't know anything and they can't be right. So I'm going to do what I do. Well, then I thought, I can go to Austin College. They're little. But I can't do that because then they're right. So I sat back down for another 3 hours and I figured out some way to explain to them where I was still right and they were still wrong, but I was doing what they said I needed to do. And I don't know what it was because I don't think my mind could comprehend that now because I'm too logical and too common sense now. I called, my mom answered. We called her the nun because everything she said was positive. Everything was right. She was never had a bad word for anybody at any time, anything. Everything was happy and positive. And I said, well, here's what I'm going to fix to do. I'm going to coach and teach. I'm going to go to Austin College. I'm going to play football. And she said, they'll never let you in. And she's right. High school, my junior year, I was 16 out of 236. Senior year, I was 36 out of 236. And colleges look at that and go, ooh, that guy is not going the right direction. We don't want you here. They're gonna look at my grades from UTA and say, ooh, 4 failing grades, 2.5, no, yeah, 4 failing grades, 2.5 passing grades. We don't want you. She really was right. I applied in March, April, May, June. June comes around, still haven't accepted. And they had transfers when someone goes to one school, they transfer to another one. Colleges will hold spots for transfer people. So Austin College had 4 transfer spots open. 1 other person had transferred. So there was 3 open spots, and they're sitting there. Does anybody want to come here? Anybody? Anybody want to come? And they finally said, okay, come on, go ahead. That was the year that they had the lowest amount of applications they'd ever had that year. So I snuck in. I was not at the level of understanding of who God was then. He was like little g God then to me. It was a thing. It was a vitamin. God was a vitamin that you take every once in a while and it makes your life better. God's oxygen. He's not a vitamin. But back then he was little g vitamin. So I didn't always consult him or pay attention to him or listen to him or anything. But he can use, and even if you're not, he can still make things work. I was going out with this girl. Blondes were my cocaine. They would destroy my life, but I kept going back. And I was going out with this blonde. I wasn't anti-brunette or redhead or anything else. I was not anti, but I just always voted blonde. You know, if a redhead won the election, I was fine. It was okay. But I always voted blonde. She didn't have a car. She was a senior. She was going to Brock. I had a car. I'm going to go to this little school and play football, so I'm never going anywhere. So I said, well, just keep my car. I was 18. And like I've told little Christy several times, you will never win. Girls are undefeated. Moms never win, no matter what. The girl will always win. Well, the girl was always going to win. There's no logical thinking when an 18-year-old is talking to her. There's no logical thinking. So she drives me up to school, drops me off, and she leaves. And I know for a fact God was behind that because I would have left. I would not have stayed if I had a way home. I hated it. I was miserable. I go up there. I was ignorant because I thought, it's this little bitty school. Maybe they don't have anybody any good, and maybe I could be good up there. Wherever you go, there's good people, no matter what it is. There's good people. There's talented people. So just because it's little doesn't mean nothing. So I walk in this field house. I look this way, there's nobody. I look this way, and there's this, he looked to me like this 60-year-old man. He wasn't jacked. He was just old man big. You know what I'm saying? Just about 6'4", just coaching shorts, got the perfect. And he says, "Come with me!" And so I crap my pants and I go with him. We go in the equipment room and he takes a helmet and he throws it on my head. It goes on my head. He slaps it, it spins. He says, "That one doesn't fit." He grabs it and grabs another one, hits it, my head goes with it, said, "That one fits fine." And then he said, "Go tell the rest of the beep, 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 to beep, 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 beep." And so I'm crying and crapping my pants and I go tell all the beep, 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 beep. He was our trainer. He played football in the 50s. He had broken 3 vertebrae in his back his last game and walked around for 3 days and then went and told somebody about it. That was the trainer we had. You never went and told him you were hurt. Never. He was, we had an off-season workout in the morning, running, conditioning, lifting, like 5 to 6:30. Then we had breakfast, and then 9 o'clock we'd have practice till 11:30. Then we'd have lunch. Then we'd have an hour off. Then we'd have a meeting, and then we'd have practice. Then we'd have supper, and then we'd have a meeting. And I hate it because I'm not any good. I don't know anybody. I'm in this weird place. And I've never been so alone and I'm completely miserable. So I would have left. I would not have stayed around. So I'm glad I gave her my car for that year because it wouldn't work. I was scouting, which means we can't let the guys we need get hurt, but they need to practice. So we're going to put together an offense and a defense of people, we don't care what happens to them, to get the team ready to play. So I'm the scout team receiver. I wear the jersey number of the guy that we're facing so they can key on the formations and know what's going on. And there's no early whistle. There's no let's protect these. It's just get after it. Go get it. The only thing I've ever won in my life was scout team MVP. I did get scout team MVP, and that was really just because I worked the tail off. The last play, the last practice, I'm in the slot, which is right next to the offensive line, and I'm running a drag. I just run down the line. The outside linebacker, he was all conference. His name was Pee Wee. I don't even know his real name. Pee Wee. He was like 6'3", probably about 230. He was tiny action figure guy. Kind of built like Batman or Superman figures, but just not jacked. But he was, he's all there. He's running behind me. The All-American safety, Curtis Lewis, is coming down because he sees the play happening. And the ball gets right here, and Pee Wee's facing us. Hits me right there, and then Curtis hits me up high. And he's like, bam! And I twist in half, and I fall down on the ground, and I'm going, I'm paralyzed. I'm paralyzed because I felt it. I heard the crack, and Pee Wee's freaking out. He heard the crack. He's like, Coach! And he was huge. Coach, you got to come here! Come here, Coach! You got to come here! And that's all I called it, Pee Wee. Coach gets over there, and I look down. My hand's moving, so I'm not paralyzed. I broke a rib, which hurts all the time. You can't breathe, you can't sneeze, cough. But I get up, and I'm going back, I'm still on the ball, and Coach Churchman, the head coach, says, nice catch, Rob. Thanks, Coach. Coach Churchman went on Northwest Missouri and won 5 national championships. And in 2008, we're watching this Coach of the Year show. That's what the Rivals do. We watched the Coach of the Year show where they're giving out the award, and Coach Churchman's head pops up. I looked at Colt. I said, hey, I played for him. He was my college coach. And he goes, what? I said, yeah, I played for him. You played for him? And I said, yeah. So for that split second, he thought I was something. So, yeah, my dad was. But after that, he figured it out. Our trainer, Coach Lawson, Sig Lawson, that was his name. I didn't dare tell him what happened to me. One of my friends went and told him, and so I'm in my locker getting my pads off. I get up to about right here, I got my hands here, and he comes up and gets his hand and kind of goes and starts mashing around. And I'm like, and I just kind of faint into his hands, and he says, yep, you broke a rib, Rollins. I know. There was a kid several years later. Me and him got to be good. I got to be good friends with Coach Lawson. He's one of my favorite people in the whole world. I walk by the trainer and he goes, Roll, come here. I go in there, and this kid's on the table. His ankle, you see it starting to swell up. He says, I can tell you what degree sprain this is by putting my finger in his ankle. And I went, what? And the kid says, what? And he says, yes, watch. And you know the bump on your ankle where the bone comes out? He goes right below that. And he goes, and his finger goes in the ankle. And the kid's eyes roll back, and I was like, Coach, stop, I don't care, it doesn't matter. The 4th day of 2 days, starting out, when I'm miserable, and I can't take it anymore. Mentally, I can't take it. Physically, I can't take it. We're in the gym, ready for workout, and all of a sudden Coach Lawson walks in, and he doesn't go, he goes, everybody lay down on the floor. Lay down! So you lay down. Close your eyes. And he starts talking slow, quiet, and he tells us to put our right hand over by our left shoulder. He says, put your left hand over by your right shoulder. And he keeps talking and talking, and he said, I want you to imagine the most comfortable place in the world for and goes on for like another 40 minutes. And he talked us off the ledge. He fixed us. He was he knew exactly how to destroy you mentally and physically, and then he would put the pieces back together. And I always loved Coach Lawson. He turned out to be one of the greatest influences of my whole life. I had to stop playing football because I had to start working. But I decided maybe I could do track. I can work that around my schedule. Now my senior year, I had a campus job. I was in charge of cleaning the pool. Now they didn't have like a pool. They had like the swimming and diving pool where they have the races and stuff, you know. So I'm in charge of cleaning the pool. That's from like 6 to 7:15 every morning. I had 8 o'clock. I had 4 classes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I got them in the morning. I want morning classes. I don't want afternoon classes. After lunch, I don't want to have to go nowhere. So I always ready to get the classes going. Then I had like an hour and a half, and then my regular job was the leagues, softball, basically the adult leagues in Sherman, like recreation. So I had office hours for 4 hours in the afternoon. Then I had like a couple hours. Then I would go to the games, wherever they were. And it's full-time, 40-hour-a-week job. It was the best year I ever had. I was busy all the time, but I had money, I had time, I had a social life somehow. I prioritized everything and had to organize everything. While I'm doing track, I went to Coach Morris, another great man. I said, I think I want to throw the javelin. So I come out for track, and he's showing me, and javelin is just like shot and disc. You have to get your legs working with your hands. It's, you know, the shot and disc, you're here, javelin, you're here. So it's all the same type of stuff. I couldn't get that part going, but I just threw it. So now my shoulder and my arm is jacked up. We go to the first meet in Commerce, East Texas State. It's different now, but I was awful. Worse than awful. Some of y'all are gonna think I'm wrong for this. Every girl threw it better than me. I'm not better than any girl. I'm a caveman. I feel like I should throw it better than one girl. So on the way back from on the bus, on the van, I'm just, once again, can't do it. Why am I even trying? But Coach Morris talked to me, he said, Rod, just give it a chance. It takes a while to learn how to do this. Give it a shot, see what happens. 2 weeks later, we're in Brownwood at Blue Bonnet Relays, Howard Payne's hosting it. And we're warming up, and there's 2 guys from Texas Tech. And their jersey has Texas Tech on it, which means their school is paid for because they know how to throw the javelin.
Teachers, you may now post attendance. Thank you.
That's the Paradise Stephen Hawking. The other side just got we're warming up, and when you throw the javelin right, it goes kind of and sticks in the ground. Mine never did that. Theirs did that, and I'm going right after them. And all these people standing around, and I was starting to develop my understanding, and I said, God, I can't do this. There's no way I can do this. If you will make it where it looks like I know what I'm doing, I'll tell everybody the rest of my life what you did and that I had nothing to do with it. So I line up, do my approach, do little steps, drop, let it go. I looked around to see who threw it, and I'm the only guy standing there, sticks in the ground. Coach Morris always had us fill out goal cards, what we wanted to do that meet. I'd gone 93 feet the week before. My goal for this week was 120. And Coach Morris said that, if you were to do that, that would be incredible. But at 145. And Coach Morris is jumping around, and I'm all excited. He wrote, I had that card until about 15 years ago, but I had it hanging up on the wall. I don't know what it is now. I started going to finals at the meets. It gave me a little confidence. And I started working. I was always working hard, but now I'm like focused and thinking, and I had expectations, and I make the finals, and I even scored points at the conference championships where we won the whole meet. That's one of the worst sounds. office call for somebody. How do y'all think it's a boy? Who y'all think it's a girl? No? How do y'all? Summer Wiley, go to the office!
I bet it's her.
Wait, you didn't hear. Summer Wiley, go to the office. Yeah. Yeah.
Many of my keys.
All right, so I'm doing decent at Javelin. We win the conference meet. Everybody's graduating. I'm coming back to get my master's degree. So I'm coming back. There's three other guys coming back, and they're not any good. I'm the best of the not good people. So all summer, all fall, going into the wintertime, I would go work out. Before I went to work out, I would go in the A room, that's where all the trophies were, and I would find the track MVP plaque, and I would look 1991, and I would look down and see nothing, but I would see my name written there. Donald Dunlap, 1990, blank, 1991, but in my mind, I saw my name written there. So I'd go work out, and I'd come back, and I'd go look at, see my name there. I'm gonna be track MVP. 2 days before track starts in January, the athletic secretary comes in and she has a little tear in her eye. And I said, Vicki, what's wrong? She said, you're ineligible. I said, that's impossible. I'm making A's now. I'm doing really good. There's no way. She goes, no, you've been in school too long. You're ineligible to participate. Now, you got 5 years to play for. You've heard of red shirt before? That's what that means. You have 10 semesters to play 8. I didn't realize UTA counted because I didn't do anything then. So I just thought it counted. It started when I went to Austin College. So I've been in Austin College 4 years. I had a 5th year. And there was a couple of years there I didn't do anything. So I'm good. I'd already been in college for 5 years. So now there's nothing I can do. Everything is over. And she tells me that, and I run out the door, I just slam the doors open, and I go outside, and I scream, and I start cussing God. And telling him, I said, I am sick of you ruining things. I'm sick of you letting me get this close to something and then taking it away. I'm tired of it. I hate you. I can't take this anymore. So I go home, and I'm just sulking for days. And Coach Morris comes by. Stops by to talk. He said, Ryle, I hate what happened to you. He said, but I don't want you to quit. I want you to stay around. I want you to come with us, come to workouts, come to meets, be a part of it. And I said, okay. And he left. And I think I said out loud to my roommate, why in the crap would I ever want to do that? If a girl dumps me, I don't want to go out with her and another guy. I don't want to be around what I can't do anymore. I don't want to be a part of it when I can't be a part of it. But I went. And after a couple days, I realized, hey, I don't have to run anymore. This is pretty cool. I get shirts, and I don't have to run, and I get to time them, and it kind of started to get fun. I'd go to the meets, go to the workouts. I'd go follow coach around, different stuff, listen to different coaches. 2 years later, I'm in Mount Austin, Texas, coaching I had the junior high boys track by myself. And I just told the triple jumpers what I wanted them to do. I had gotten the pole vaulters going on some things, and I was going to take a couple relay guys. We were going to work handoffs. And I stopped. And thought, how are you saying this? Where did all this come from? You didn't research anything. How are you? And I realized I was telling the hurdlers what I had heard Coach Morris tell them. I was doing drills with the jumpers that I'd seen Coach Morris do with the jumpers. I was telling the pole vaulters things Coach Morris had told the pole vaulters. I stepped back and I said, God, I'm sorry. Sorry I called you that. You did know what you were doing. What I thought was punishment, what I thought was jacking my life up, was actually fixing things and preparing me for what I was fixing to be doing the rest of my life. If I'd have thrown the javelin, if I'd have won the national championship, would that have helped me that year in Mount Austin? Would that help me today? No. everything I thought was bad turned out to be exactly what needed to happen. Everything that got took away gave me something. If I had been any good at things, Lil Christie was the best basketball player in Tom Bean High School for 4 years. All district, all the time. You know, she doesn't know how to do anything. She just grabs the ball and shoots. How do you shoot? Oh, you just grab it and shoot. Because it came natural to her. Nothing came natural to me, so I had to learn how to do things. I had to think about, this is how you do, this is where you step, and you have to do this, you have to hold it like this. I had to think through all that stuff. And in my career, that's, if I'm any good, it's because I wasn't any good as a player. So everything I wanted to be and wasn't, there was a purpose behind it. And every door that got slammed eventually led to a window somewhere else. Does that make sense? It's easy to see that and understand that. It's tough when it's happening to you. To this day, I do not like when things mess up. I'm better than I used to be. At least now I can kind of look around and go, okay, something good, okay, and I can look for it. But does that make sense? Things are going to mess up in your life. Your life is not going to go how you want it to, and that's good. Because I cannot imagine being in an architect's office, going home to Stephanie Dickey. Oh my gosh, what a horrible life I would have if I had what I wanted. You know, I got what I didn't know I wanted, and this is the greatest thing ever. Does that kind of make sense to you? That good? What do I need? My cocaine was blondes. In Van Alstyne, that first summer, I went to the pizza place, and there is a little blonde behind the counter, kind of cute. Talked to her. I'm not Larvin anymore, so I can actually look at a girl and talk to her, and asked her out. She said, yeah. So we started going out. Coach at Van Alstyne for 2 years. Go to Gunner. We're going out for like 3 years. Actually, we're going out like 2.5 years, and I say, you know, she's not perfect. I'm not perfect. But what am I going to do? Meet people? I coach in this little town. When I don't have time, I'm going to ask her to marry me. So I asked her to marry me. She says yes. Really, I just need to get her out of the house. If she gets out of mom and dad's house, that'll fix everything. They're from California, which is great. If you grow up in California, you ought to be different than somebody that grew up in Texas. If you grew up in New York, you ought to be different. Yeah, there's differences. You ought to sound different. I like the differences we have. I don't like the MTVization of America where we're all the same. We sound the same, we look the same. At the rehearsal, she takes my team. Okay, I got my guys that came for me. Her girls came for her. She takes one of my guys and one of her girls and puts that couple here, and puts another couple here, and puts another couple here. And I'm like, what's happening? What's going on? She says, well, this is how we do it in California. I said, this is Texas. We don't do that. We have a team here and a team here. My guys, she says, no, we're going to do this. So can I at least have my best man? Yes, we'll let your best man stand by you. Oh, thank you. My best man is to stand next to me. My best friend Holden. We get to the wedding. I walk down the church. It's 2 blocks away from my little apartment thing. I lived in an old building. You know, like Decatur, downtown Decatur, the old buildings there. And it was like the second floor of one of the old buildings. It was like a kiln. You know what a kiln is? It cooks clay pots. That's what my apartment was. I ran the air conditioner 1 month and couldn't afford it, so I said, I'll never do that again. Anyways, I forgot the ring. So I call my apartment, and Bart Tatum answers. Bart Tatum was from Cooper, Texas. He was a fullback, and he did not want to score touchdowns. He wanted to hit people. So he'd get the ball, and 3 different times I saw him have a touchdown 4 yards this way, but there's a linebacker, and he dives back inside and goes and nails the linebacker. He wore a suit and tie to class, and he had these huge glasses. He would come home from class, put the suit up, get his shirt, cut off shirt, and shorts that he wore every day to work out for 5 hours, play basketball, lift, run, and he never washed it, he just hung them back up. So his whole life was a contradiction. You know, just weird guy. At Cordell's wedding, my roommate Jeff, he's the head coach at Sherman now. We're all there, it's at Brownwood, it's outside, and all of a sudden in the middle of it, Bart stands up and starts walking down the aisle. We're like, what is Bart doing? What's going on? Because he's a weird, he's somebody who would do something weird. He's walking up there, he stands up and he sings the Lord's Prayer a cappella. No music. Beautiful, gorgeous singing voice. Who knew? So I asked him to come sing at my wedding. So there's Bart in my apartment. He answers the phone, just blasted. Yeah! Hey, Bart, yeah! Hey, it's Ron. I know, Ron. What's up? Well, I forgot the ring. You forgot the ring? Yeah. Could you have Lane get... Yeah, Lane, ring, got it. He hangs up. You know, I don't know that this is going to work out. Right. We're in the, right before the wedding, preacher, me, and Lane, my best man. We're standing there, and I look at Lane, and I go, Lane, did you get the ring? He goes, I didn't know. No one told me, so you don't have a ring. Lane had got married like 2 months earlier. And I looked, I said, hey, we'll use your ring. And we just give the other one later. So I think either me and Lane really got married, or her and Lane are married. I don't know. Maybe. So we're up there. She comes up, we're standing, and I look at her, I said, when he gets to the ring, just go with it. She goes, what? I said, just go with it. I said, okay. Pull that ring out. Her eyes, what is it? I said, just put Lane's ring on, get married. She's going to school, and she's working for this photographer in Plano, and I'm coaching in Gunner. It was the weekend that OJ drove the Bronco. Y'all heard of that? Remember the OJ chase before he got arrested? Okay, so I never watched any of that. That was the rehearsal dinner. I never even really knew that happened because I'm getting married. It was rocky. And you know, there's good things, but it was pretty rocky. I found, flowers come with cards, and you write something on them. So on the little dresser, I found a card. It was this little flower card, and it said, thinking of you. And I said, hey, what's this? She goes, oh, it's a friend at school. Gave it to me. Okay. And just different things. She works every weekend. We have a 2-miler go to state. I had girls track. So we're going to Austin. Brooke's going with us. I get up that morning. I go down and get something out of her car. I come back up. Look, I found the cigarettes. Thought you were quitting. Well, I don't have to. I don't do what you want. We start fighting, start yelling. I said, fine. So I just go to school. At school, I called the photographer and said, is Brooke there yet? They said, no. And something in the back of my head said, hey, I went, did she work this weekend? And they said, no. Did she work last weekend? I said, Brooke doesn't work weekends. And I don't know if I might have dropped the phone. But it's like, I felt like I'd been shot. And I felt like a zombie. I mean, it's like I was breathing, but I was just numb. Put the phone down. And just then the principal pops her head out and says, hey, Coach Riley, I want to talk to y'all about the trip to Austin. And so I walk in her office and I collapse on the floor. And it takes me about 30, 40 minutes to get my composure. I go get the van and we get Coach Smith and we get Melissa and we head for Austin. And as I'm driving, in my head is this screaming, where is she? Where is she? What is going on? And I'm in charge of taking this girl to compete in the state track meet. So I've got to hold it together. So we get to Austin, go to the track, see everybody I know. What's the question they ask? Hey Rob, where's Brooke? Everybody says, where's Brooke? Where's Brooke? Where's Brooke? And I'm like, I'm going nuts. I don't know. I don't want to say, she was busy. I don't know. That was Thursday. Friday she competes. We come back Saturday. I get home. She's not there. I don't sleep that night. Get up the next day. I teach high school Sunday school at church in town. So I get up and start getting that lesson ready. I'm sure it was awesome. I'm sure it was a really meaningful lesson. She pops in the house, says, my mom wants us to talk at her house at lunch. Okay. So we go to her house after church and we're talking. I say, I know I haven't done everything right. I need to work on some things and I want to do that to make this work. And she looks at me and says, I don't. And that's the best I felt in 3 days. What felt good about that? Now I know at least. I have some answers. She doesn't want to be married. She doesn't want to be a part of this. I don't like that, but at least I know something now. And I said, okay, I'll take you to your car. So I drive to the car, don't say a word, I take her to the apartment, she gets in the car, drives away. I'm sitting there in my apartment thinking, what in the world? How is Riley can't get divorced? I can't be that guy. And I do pray about it, and I'm reading this Bible, and I'm sitting there, and I go to the mall that week and get a book, How to Do Your Own Divorce. Because we don't have any money. I have no money at all. And because we're not arguing, we're not fighting, we don't own anything. It's really simple. I pay $120, I fill out the paperwork, and there it is. So I do the paperwork, I take it to her mom and dad's house. Her mom answers the door, and I said, well, these are the papers. And she says, Jonathan, I don't see how as a Christian you could do this. And I looked at her and said, Ms. Wheaton, as a Christian, I've done a lot of things. I've had to talk to God about it and ask forgiveness. And I've asked forgiveness for this. So now I'm a divorced guy. I coached girls basketball as an assistant for 3 years. That's where this gray hair came from. And when you're coaching girls, they're not girls. I don't know what they are, but they're not girls. And it's hard because you have to think of everything except for coaching. Guys, you have to think about nothing, you just coach. Girls, you have to think about everything. What am I saying? How am I saying it? Where am I saying it? Where am I at? Where are they at? What's this? And so it's very nerve-wracking. We're playing Tom Bean. They have a point guard. And all of a sudden, I'm looking at her eyes. Stop. And then look at her eyes again. Stop. We go eat at Tracks. She's our waitress. Now I'm going out with Brooke at this time. This is like, she says, what are you doing here? I said, what do you mean? She goes, aren't you a coach? I said, yeah. I'm not talking to her. Yeah, I'm a coach. I see her at Walmart. After, that next fall, I see her at Walmart working at the pharmacy. And I'm walking. You've known me a long time, right? You think I'm a piece of garbage? Okay. It might change. Hold hands with Brooke. Looking at this girl working in the pharmacy. The track meet, junior track meet that next fall, the Tom Bean girls coach is talking to me because I'm getting married to Brooke. And she's saying, everybody, hey, you're too young, you don't need to get married. Well, this girl in college is standing next to her while she's saying that, and I'm like, no, yeah, and I walk away. Girl with the eyes standing next to her. Now now I've got to file the paperwork. I go to Walmart to get cologne and an answering machine. Those are the two most unreal things I could ever buy. I'm in Walmart, walking down the aisle, and here comes that blonde. And we almost run into each other. And I go, "Hey, Christy," because she has a name tag. I don't know why I talked to her. I don't know what made me talk to her. I said, "Hey, Christy, what are you doing?" And we just kind of talked a little bit, and then I went home. And I called the Walmart pharmacy. And I said, "Hey, is Christy there?" And they said, "Yes." And then I realized, oh my gosh, she has no idea who I am. She answered the phone. I said, "Hey, this is Jonathan Ryle. I used to coach at Van Alstyne, now I coach at Gunner." She goes, "Oh yeah, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I just calling to see if you want to go out sometime." She said, "Aren't you married?" Because she went to college with Brooke. I said, "Yeah, that's a long story, but no." She goes, "Okay." I said, "All right," and I hung up. And then I called her back 2 seconds later and said, "Would you like to go out tonight?" And she said, "Yeah." So we went out. And as on the fence at the track meet, she was helping the coach there. She was in college. She was helping coach. She tells me they were trying to get me to ask her out, and I got mad. So, well, then say, "Hey, she wants to go out with you." Don't start talking. You didn't make it real clear. I didn't need to marry that girl. Right? I had no business marrying Brooke, and I did it. And I remember thinking in the back of my mind, it said, when it gets to that, "until death do you part," I was like, because I knew. But I really thought, this is it, because I coach in a small town. I'm not going to meet people. This is it. But there was ways out I should have took. But even though that when Brooke left me, it devastated me. That was a huge blessing, because then I could find and talk to the one God made for me. Now I feel sorry for her that she has to put up with me the rest of her life. But I hate actresses. Okay, no, let me just say, I'm not
Teachers,
attracted
you
to
have 5
actresses.
minutes left to post attendance.
I don't think famous people are hot.
Thank you.
To me, when I see famous people, I think snob, stuck up, jacked up life. I'm not interested. The only person in the world, the only actress in the world I ever thought was cute at all was Meg Ryan. You know who Meg Ryan is? Have you ever seen When Harry Met Sally? That's Meg Ryan. And that was on one time. And Colt was little. And he walked through the room and saw it, and he goes, "Mom, you're on TV." That's Meg Ryan. And this is so I guess I got to marry my celebrity crush, or whatever you call it. Yeah, she talked to me. She went out with me. There's hope. There's hope for anybody. So tomorrow, I'm going to show you some pictures. I'm going to tell you a couple more stories, but I'm going to show you some pictures to go along with it. How about that? So if you've been completely ruined these last 2 days, at least tomorrow you got some cool stuff to look at. Did you gain anything? That's what I hope so. It's gonna work out. When things go bad, that's good.